What's up, everybody? This is Brandon with Lines on Paper, and this is my spoiler free review of Marvel Studios' Captain Marvel opening up today. I know there was a lot of rumor and talk and politics and arguing and dissension and whatever else about this movie being a political job or being pushing an agenda, what have you. We'll go ahead and talk about that during the review, but first we're just going to go ahead and unpack the movie, talk about it a little bit. So, Captain Marvel is a character created by Marvel Comics back in the early to mid 70s. And actually, in the comic books, initially, Captain Marvel was a male character. The character was fairly popular and prominent in the books for about 15 years or so. Then they killed off the character, and the name and powers passed down to Carol Danvers, and she's been Captain Marvel for quite a while now in the comic books. Certainly at this point longer than the male version has been around. So Captain Marvel is a human who gets superpowers after being abducted and experimented on by an alien race called the Kree. The Kree and Marvel are your closest thing to Klingons. They are honor-bound, militant, taking upon themselves to patrol the galaxy, and are ruled by a big blobby head called the Supreme Intelligence, which is an AI artificial computer that's kind of made up of all the greatest minds of their society. So they're an interesting sci-fi race, and it's always fun to see Marvel kind of throwing their hat into the cosmic arena like we saw in the Guardians of the Galaxy. They always do a really fun job with that. And this movie picks up in the middle of a war between the Kree and another alien race called the Skrulls. Now, the Skrulls are a race of shape-shifting aliens who infiltrate other planets by replacing their citizens with shape-shifted Skrulls. They don't have a home world of their own. Now, in the comics, their homeworld was destroyed by Galactus, but that doesn't seem to be the story they're sticking with for the Skrulls for the movie. Don't want to go into that whole story since it plays into the plot, but that's your main other alien here. And in the comic books, the Kree-Skrull Wars is a very big storyline, so there's a lot of play they can do going forward with these movies using these two aliens up against each other. So, was this a good movie? Yes, this was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I liked it. There was great performances by a lot of great actors. Samuel L. Jackson playing a young Nick Fury was a lot of fun to see. Once he gets into the picture and he and Captain Marvel are kind of playing off each other, it becomes more of a buddy comedy. You've got Jude Law as kind of your central Kree character. And other great performances. The Skrulls are fun. The supporting cast is great. As you've probably heard, there's a cat in it that is a bit of a scene stealer, which is still true. It pretty much hits on all the right notes. This is an origin story, and if you've seen a Marvel origin story at this point, you kind of know the formula. You know how they're going to go. I would say that this movie does slow down a bit in the third act. Much like if you remember Thor Ragnarok, pretty much any of the first movies of any Marvel character, they kind of get a lull. Same thing that goes here. So it's not a perfect movie. I definitely don't see any hint of the agenda or politics that people were talking about. If you go into the movie looking for that kind of stuff, you can probably find it if you just look and think about it hard enough. But for the most part, it's just fun. It's your standard superhero stuff. It checks off all the boxes on superhero origin movie bingo. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, and I think its problem isn't so much its quality, it's that Marvel Studios, as of late, has been kind of firing on all cylinders. And if you look at the movies that have come out preceding Captain Marvel, you're looking at Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, and Avengers Infinity War. So it's very safe to say that Marvel has pretty much hit their stride. You've got three of their best movies back to back, and then Captain Marvel just has to follow this up. Had this come out maybe not on the trail of all three of these movies, then I may have liked it better. But as it stands, Marvel is doing great things right now, and while not Captain Marvel is not a bad movie, it's just not anything we haven't seen before. And maybe just a case of bad timing for that, because if you think about it, even what Sony's doing with their Marvel properties with Venom and the Spider-Verse, I know Venom wasn't a perfect movie, but it was fun, and the Spider-Verse movie was amazing, and so Marvel's just firing on all cylinders right now, and Captain Marvel came out and had really big shoes to fill, and I'm not sure it quite lived up to these other movies, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a good experience at the theater. Plus, you've got a post-credit scene in there that's going to obviously lead directly into Avengers. We were all expecting that, being that this is the last movie before Endgame. So, definitely, one of the things that I would say, one of the flaws in the movie is, out of all the Marvel books, I would say that this one strayed the furthest from the source material as far as the Kree, how they operate, Captain Marvel's origin, the characters around her. If you're expecting to see a straight adaptation of the comic like we are known to see from other Marvel movies, this one is probably the furthest from the book, which might be why the quality went down a little bit. We're used to seeing, I think Marvel's strength to their success is that they know that their characters can stand on their own, so they don't go out there trying to change their character to be in a movie. They change movies to fit their characters. And this one, I think they went the other direction just a little bit, enough to where a comic book purist like me notices a lot of differences. And I think anybody out there that is a big fan of the comics, you're going to see 2 or 3 things in there that are going to, make you take a double take, because there's a few instances that are very, very different. So be mindful of that going into it. But overall, it's an enjoyable movie. Great special effects. I would say that lacks a major villain. I would have liked to have seen a bigger, badder threat enter the movie. But overall, good movie. Lots of fun. These 3 here, Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, and Goose the Cat, are the 3 highlights of the movie for me. I thought they were great. The Skrulls and the Kree are both fun. Anytime you get to look more into Marvel Cinematic Universes, space, galactic stuff, always great, just like in the Guardians of the Galaxy. So look forward to that. And let me know in the comments below what you thought of it if you've seen it. See if you think this review is spot on. You think I got something wrong, maybe missed something we should talk about. Just do me a favor. A lot of people probably haven't seen the movie yet, so let's keep our comments spoiler free. And we'll talk in the comments below. If you have a time, like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. If you're in a position to do so, visit our Patreon page, help the channel grow. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go out and see the movie, have fun, and I will talk to you later. Bye.